and welcome to the podcast that discusses all things gaming. Coming to you from the home of Indie PopCon, Gen Con, and the gaming capital of the world, we are the Established Facts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our official Indie PopCon Established Facts episode. That's right. It's that time of year again where we all get together behind the mics and yell at people eating dinner.
That's right. Was the pause necessary?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm pulling my best Captain Kirk that I can.
Okay.
Yeah. So how is everybody? Is everybody enjoying Indie PopCon? Sweet, five people.
Right, five this
out
time.
of 50.
The
10%, that's good.
Right, the one person screaming with food in their mouth.
Yeah, right. Anyway, we are here at Indie PopCon 2018, here hanging out in the food court. We're going to go down the line and introduce ourselves. We actually have two special guests with us. So, I'll go ahead and start. I am your host, Big Don. And to my right...
And yet you're the smallest one up here.
That is true.
Oddly enough, yeah.
Yeah, this stage is at max capacity.
At this point. Yeah, I do believe this would be, what, the Fat Pack?
This is the Fat Pack.
Yeah. We're half a ton of fun, kids. Yeah.
So to my right, this is...
I'm Leonard Pigg, a.k.a. Luscious, actor, writer, Chaos Mage.
Chaos Mage.
And friend of the strange.
Okay, all right.
Hi, I'm Peter Spellos, my mother's favorite child.
Does your brother know that?
No, I'm an only child, so I was my mother's favorite child.
He got retconned in a reboot.
This is Josh, as normal, and I don't even know if I can handle all these personalities.
Your own or mine?
Yes.
Okay.
Good answer.
And
So we are here hanging out at Indie PopCon. This is day one, Friday, of Indie PopCon. We've gotten a chance to walk around and see some of the wares. And I would like to kind of get, before we really get into any sort of discussion, I would just like to know what everyone's opinion on the panel is of our con experience thus far.
I think it's terrific. It's my first time back here in 3 years, considering I'm here kind of once a month, but I haven't been back to PopCon. I love the venue. The costumes today are mad skilled people running around here. And I think we're just getting started. This is like the first couple hours of the party. I think now it's going to get really interesting. And it's always good to be back with you guys.
Absolutely. It's been a blast so far. A lot of really cool people, a lot of friendly people. It's great to see everybody letting their geek flag fly, representing their respective fandoms. I've seen so many really cool costumes, and I'm glad I didn't wear one. But I'm at a different end of the spectrum at this point.
Like this woman down here?
Yeah.
37 years old. Right here. It's an amazing cosplay. Yeah. Right here. She's 37 years old.
Cosplay of a 9-year-old. It's awesome.
Oh, you know what? You're a poser, and we know it. So
it's so good.
I met Kevin Nash, so my con experience has
your life
pretty much completed right now.
Your life is good.
I mean, big
Bucket
sexy.
list.
Yeah. The master of the Powerbomb. Yes, I knew you were going to say that.
About me.
We got Luscious, and you're trying to be big sexy. But
did you know that Peter Spellos is here at PopCon?
I do. Like he's sitting right here.
Yeah, I hear he's a guest this year.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty epic.
Calling out little girls as 37-year-olds too.
Hey. She and I have history.
So
like an hour ago, right?
Right. Yeah.
So one thing that we have talked a lot about on our podcast previously. But without a captive audience, and by captive I mean we didn't tie the rope too tight, but they're not going anywhere, was the art of improv in gaming. And because the four of us are not only improv actors, but improv actors together in Breakfast Anytime, I would really love for us to kind of talk about how we have been able to use the skill of improv in our daily lives, in our geek lives. How have we been able to use it as kind of a life skill on top of just being a performance skill? Anybody can answer.
Well, creatively, it frees you up more than anything else as an actor. You start to trust yourself as an artist. It's like I tell my writer friends, write, but don't edit until you finish your first draft. Well, improv is the same thing. You got to get up there and not judge yourself and play free. As we get older, and we do get older, I promise you like that, we start not playing as much as we did when we were your age. So the whole trick to being an adult is play more, and improv will help you with that.
I would agree. Adulting is highly overrated. Embrace the inner child and just let it fly. I can't tell you how many times in a lot of my interactions I've had, just with them doing radio or film or, anything, and even with some of the writing, sometimes just those ideas that come to spur of the moment, you can take those little kernels and just let them grow and have something really epic come off of that. And then as far as tying into gaming, just the idea of, you have an idea of a character in your head that you want to make, and maybe it's loosely based on something. It could be a pastiche of a superhero or a villain or some character from a movie that you're enamored with or that you want to try to take in a different direction. So you've got so much freedom to play with.
Well, it also gives you the ability to create something, go, I don't want to do that, and create it, and let it go and create something new. I think improv really takes the judgment out of it, and it helps you with your character and the narrative of the story, and just playing again. It's really what it's about.
Well, and being willing to look at other players, the people you're playing your games with, and listening to their side of what they're trying to accomplish, and being able to go, all right, and what else? The yes and premise in a role-playing game, or even in a video game, which I find interesting, because in a video game, you often don't get to choose the story, and yet there are sometimes, I'm playing a game right now called Detroit Become Human, PlayStation 4. It's all about choices. It's a whole flow chart. Every scene is all about choices. So the first time I play through, I'll play it the way I would, the lawful good, Joshy way, where everything is good and great. There's another part of me that wants to say, yes, and let's do the evil thing and see what happens.
You have those serial killer eyes. That's one thing I like about you.
Well, at least they're good eyelashes, too.
They're good eyelashes.
Kind of throws me back to, do you remember back in the day when they used to have those choose your own adventure books or the which way books? They'd have you are a ninja, or you have a supercomputer, or you're a time traveler. And so, you've got choices, and that's life, really. You always have a choice. And with improv or doing the creative end of things, it's like you can just go way out in left field, and the fact that you're not doing it by yourself, you got other people to kind of back you up. They can follow you down that pathway, and you create this whole new world off of it, or kind of steer you in another direction if need be.
I think one of the concepts of improv that I really enjoy kind of adapting into my gaming experience is if it's weird, it can only get weirder. Especially when you're dealing with a tabletop role-playing game, because I think what that does is it allows for a narrative that nobody expected, and then you get a chance to see what everyone's creative juices are going to add to that experience, or to that that battle or that encounter with that character. If you just kind of take it in a completely different direction than what your game master or person running the game is going to do, kind of not only shaking it up for him, but also the other players at the table.
I think another thing with that, Don, is in the role-playing games, well, improv, it's about collaboration. Mm-hmm. So you're going to find people that you start to collaborate with better than others and connect with. And that's how those relationships will start. And how you might have a creative partnership, whether it's on the game or on the stage or writing together.
Right.
Improv will give you the trust to take a chance, and that someone will follow out with you, and then they'll take a chance, and you'll support them. So I think it's really about trust and the relationships you build with improv, with role-playing games.
Yeah. And a lot of times you get these... You don't always have to play the leading male in that game. You don't always have to be the alpha of every game.
Because I play the leading male a lot.
Yeah.
Right in front of the buffet.
But there have been a couple times I've had some really fun gaming sessions where I played a coward. When the battle scene came around, they're like, okay, what are you doing this turn? I'm like, hiding under the table. Or what are you doing? Standing behind the biggest guy on my team. What are you doing next turn? Screaming like a woman. And you know what? That's again, it's like not everybody has to be the crazy swashbuckler, beat everybody up in the room. Sometimes you need those kind of guys. You need, it's like D&D. So you can't have a group of barbarians running around hacking everything up. You need a rogue, you need a wizard, you need a bard, you need all these different things to kind of make for a really good experience. I mean, if you look at even comic books and superhero lineups, you never have a team of Avengers that are all just super strong. It's like if you have the Hulk, Hercules, Wonder Man, and, you just throw in all these big bruisers, it's like, that's cool, but what about when they have something that requires science or it requires,
some sort of diplomacy, not breaking every wall down and kicking down every door.
Exactly.
So I'm going to kind of add on to that question as well, because for those who don't know, Peter also teaches acting classes. And I know that Don has been part of it. Leonard, have you done some of them?
Yeah, I've been in a couple workshops.
So we've spent this time talking about improv an awful lot, and we're going to enjoy more of it in our show here at PopCon on Saturday at 8 o'clock.
And tomorrow morning at 10.
And tomorrow at 10 to hear more about improv.
Oh, yeah.
But with acting, tools of the trade for acting. I know Peter may not have as much experience with role-playing games themselves, but it is still playing a role. And what kind of tips and tricks can be utilized there?
Well, there's over the years different schools of acting, but I think you kind of base the character on yourself, or as they said many years ago, what would Brian Boitano do? You got to kind of think. Thank you very much for those old kids in the room. What was the question? I'm old.
Acting tips and tricks for using it in gaming. It's okay. I was distracted because there was a Space Jam character that walked over.
Yeah, that's
a new one for me.
I kind of think it's the same thing. Whatever you got to create, whether you're a writer or an actor or a role-playing game, it has to come out of yourself. I imagine a lot of role-playing games, they give you what your emotions are and what you do, but you got to kind of put yourself in that situation. Well, what would I do? And that's something improvisationally you could add to creating your own character, I would imagine.
And even in reverse of that, you can kind of go the opposite direction. Go, what wouldn't I do? Get outside your head a little bit enough to kind of go, all right, well, I wouldn't steal that, or I wouldn't hurt that person. But
you got to find out what you would do in that situation. Because I've done so many TV shows and movies where I played killers and murderers and rapists, and I swear I haven't killed anybody in 10 years. So, it's not a sense memory at this point.
11 years,
but you gotta draw upon the possibility of it happening.
Yeah.
There has to be, as an artist, somewhere where that's possible. And that's what you give. My acting coaches would say, give your emotion to the character. If you're feeling lousy, give that over to the character. And it's easy to translate because now it's more organic. The character and you are the same thing at that point.
So it's not forced, it's a natural thing.
It's authentic.
Well, I think that kind of reminds me of the story from like Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger when they both played the Joker in their respective Batman movies. They definitely commented about having to go into a very dark place in and of themselves so that they could really relate to that character in order to be able to perform as if they were that character. Because I think that the key to being a good actor, or the key to being a good role player, is allowing yourself to get to that point, to find that element in you and turn it into no longer being an empathetic thing, but being a sympathetic thing. Going from, well, I can understand where you're coming from, to I can understand because this is what I would do in that situation. And I think that, that is one thing that I find the characters that really mean something to me in a movie or a TV series are those characters that the actor has made some connection to that person in the story, and it's no longer about them playing the character, it's them playing themselves as if they were in that character.
That's what we're saying. You have to draw upon yourself. It has to be organic. The method doesn't work. You can't separate yourself from the narrative or who you are, because when you go to a movie and it really sucks, the first thing you go is, oh my goodness, the acting was so terrible. But if it's great, you never mention the word acting. You go, I can't believe she died. Why the hell did he leave him? I was so loving that kid. You react like it's your friends. And that's the authenticity of the actor. You know, you see the human condition and the human emotion, and you go, wow, I've experienced that. And that's what you got to bring to the role-playing game. You've got to bring who you are. And I would imagine that the more you live and the more you travel and do things, the more enriched your role-playing characters would be. Because you're more enriched. You have more to bring forth to the creative process.
I know we've spent a lot of time on our podcast telling different gaming stories about role-playing experiences and even video game experiences where they tie you in. And I think it does have to do with the acting ability of the player or the game in which you're watching. But what is it about someone playing their role, like as watching someone else play their role? What is it that draws you in? That draws you into like wanting to be completely focused? Because when you get a table of like 6 players, it's very easy to get distracted, and want to play on your phone or want to knit or whatever you want to do. But there's something about a player who's really in their character that pulls you in.
It's commitment, like anything else. You see how committed they are to it, and you want to level up. You want to be where they are. You just look. You're either playing at it or you're playing it. And I think most people who do this, what you guys do, want to be it and play it. They don't want to play at it. It's not something. Some people just play it for fun. But when you get into deep in the character, you're enveloping yourself. You're acting. You are performing. You are creating. And don't let anybody talk down to role-playing games, because these are really. This is how you create stuff. It might enhance your art or your music, or it might allow you to get up in front of an audience at work and speak to 1,000 strangers. But it will give you confidence. I think as human beings, that's what we are attracted to most in life, is confidence. That and my beard, of course. It's another thing that they're most attracted to in life is my beard.
One of the things that I like to do when I'm role-playing a lot of times is I'll have a voice for that specific character. Last time I was in a D&D campaign a couple years back, I played a necromancer who had a little pet monkey that was a skeleton. So it was like this animated skeleton that followed him around.
And the entire time, I was doing a Sylvester McCoy impression, so when I was talking with the other players, I used this voice from beginning to end. And so when I get frustrated, I would sound very Sylvester McCoy, very Seventh Doctor-y, if you will. But it wasn't me. It was the character.
And if you can differentiate that and just kind of go into that and come out of that, it helps enhance the experience, Or if you're playing somebody with a southern accent, to bring that southern drawl on out and let it fly, But get into it. Have fun with it, because that makes other people want to get more into it.
Well, and I think that kind of building off of what you guys have both said, as somebody who is a game master or a dungeon master myself, it can be difficult when you're playing multiple characters at a time, when you're playing like your non-player characters, your NPCs, kind of having an idea of where you want to go with those characters, because a lot of them are very flat, one-dimensional characters that you're not really looking to develop unless the party happens to just kind of adhere to that one person, and then you have a reason to make that person relevant in the story. But I think that Leonard, what you touched on is definitely a tool that I use when I'm trying to differentiate from one NPC to another or one bad guy to another, is finding a really fun accent or just a strange vocal tone or pitch or something like that to be able to break up the monotony of sounding like myself all the time.
And that's where improv comes in. It's the game we do where I make someone come on stage and do a voice. We're going to do this improv Saturday night. Someone's going to be sitting there. Someone comes in with a voice or a character, and then that person has to match it for 30 seconds. Then another person comes in, totally new voice. He has to be that voice. And it kind of is we call it screw your buddy. We keep going back and forth. And all of a sudden, I didn't know I could do that voice, or I didn't know I could do that character. And because, again, I'm going to frame this thing, you're collaborating.
Yeah. Right.
He's going to give, if my best idea is coming from him, and he thinks his best idea is coming from me. The scene has integrity.
Right.
You're working together to build it. But if I try and show you how funny I am, you try and show me how funny you are, neither of us is funny.
Yeah.
So it's about, I'm telling you, it's about authenticity and collaboration. And you can put that in any area of your life.
It's like, what's the old saying? It's not a competition, it's a cooperation.
Yeah.
Now, when I've ran some games, and when I've story told like some World of Darkness stuff like Vampire the Masquerade, or even like the classic Marvel superhero role-playing game, one of the other things I like to do is I would have a picture printed up of sometimes an actor just to kind of show, or maybe a drawing or something, just to show what this NPC, non-player character, represents, what they look like, to kind of give you a better idea. That way I don't have to go, this man walks in the room, he's 5'7", he's wearing a red leather jacket, and he's got a wild shock of blonde hair and a goatee. No, I can just show you this picture of this person wearing that outfit. Or sometimes I use different actors from different movies, and lo and behold, boom, that adds a little bit more authenticity, adds a little more oomph to the gaming experience. I mean, sometimes I'll even have music playing in the background just to sort of establish an ambiance.
Well, I think, we talked about collaborating, we've talked about games, we talked about players. We actually have another friend of ours with us here hanging out in the food court, our friend Tony Schaub. And I think we would like to do a collaboration with him right now, if that's possible, Tony.
Can we vote on this first?
No.
No. I'm the
sorry.
host of the podcast, and I say so.
Yeah.
It should be good. So, Tony, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then let's let these fine eating folks know what we're getting ready to do.
Yeah, I'm excited to see all the folks out here eating, because we're going to do something not only just with you guys on the stage, but we're actually going to try to involve as many people as we can out here with us. You may have seen earlier when we were here for the PopCon, the opening ceremonies, we did a Flash Spelling Bee, and we had a great time with that. And the winner of that Flash Spelling Bee got to get a automatic entry into the Grand Championship Spelling Bee, and she got some awesome PopCon prizes and things. So I thought we might do another Flash Spelling Bee right here, right now, live on your podcast show. And all I need is a few volunteers who think that they might be able to spell their way to fame and fortune, or at least have a little fun with us here on the show here. So this is going to be a themed spelling bee. We're doing a Batman theme today.
Don't make me come out there
Batman
and bring
theme.
you up here.
So anybody out here, if you guys can hear me, I'm looking for a few volunteers who are interested in potentially doing a quick Flash Spelling Bee with us, where you can win some prizes. You can win your chance to get into the big Spelling Bee on Sunday, where we're giving away VIP passes and celebrity autographs and things like that. Things that are so cool I can't even hardly talk about it. Is anyone out here brave enough to take up the call, to have some fun with us, to play some quick little Batman Spelling Bee? If you are, raise your hand or just stand up and come up and see us. Don't be shy. I know you guys can see me out here. I'm making some eye contact with you people. Is anyone out here brave enough to have some fun with us and do a quick little spelling bee? I'm seeing, I've got one, I've got two. Come on up here, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a few more, so if you guys want to come on up here, I've got a couple people here. Come up and stand with me.
Chicken dinner, come on.
Anybody else?
There's a cute girl in the front here that keeps waving her hand.
Yeah, you know what? This is
eager,
is at least teenaged or older. These are some hard questions here. I mean, we're going to have some fun with it, but these are some challenging words here. Who else wants to join us for the geeky Flash Spelling Bee here? I'm going to take a few more contestants, and then we can get started. Again, it's a Batman theme, so if you know anything about Batman, or even if you don't, it's a pretty simple thing. Yeah, I see you pointing at yourself. That's right. Come on up here. You can join us as well. So I love it. So, all right, so we're going to put the three of you, why don't you guys stand up right here in the middle, because we're going to swing a microphone to you so you guys can talk. Is there anybody else out there? I could take maybe one more person if we have one last brave soul who would like to compete in our spelling bee. Spellos, you want to do it?
Yeah, I'm going to stink.
Okay, great.
All right.
Wait a minute. We're doing a spelling bee with Peter Spellos.
All right, so here's how this is going to work, okay? I'm going to give you guys each a word, and then I'm going to define that word for you so you'll know exactly what it is. And then I'm going to ask you to spell the word, just like you see in a classic spelling bee. So what you'll do is you'll say the word, you'll spell the word, and then you'll say the word again to make sure I know that you're done, okay? So, for example, if the word was Batman, which it's not, it's not quite that easy, you would say Batman. Batman, Batman.
Can I get that one?
Then, yes, we tell you if you're
All right,
correct or incorrect. If you're correct, you go on to the next round. If you're incorrect, then you're one of our brave fallen heroes, and we still had some fun with you, so it's okay there. So, all right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go down the line. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then over to you, Peter, for 4, all right? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Do one of you gentlemen want to spin your mic so we can have them kind of chat? There we go. Cool. All right. So again, I'm going to give you a word. I'm going to give you the definition, and then you'll be able to spell it out for us as best you can. What's your name, my friend?
Martin Jones.
Martin Jones. All right. So Martin Jones, your first word here in the Batman Flash Spelling Bee is Oracle. So Oracle is the alter ego of the former Batgirl Barbara Gordon after she was paralyzed by the Joker. So you're going to spell...
paralyzed by the Joker?
Spoilers, sorry. So you're going to spell Oracle.
Oracle.
You got it.
Yeah, it's hot.
Silent P. R. Z. Lowercase y. And exclamation point.
Flam.
So you accidentally spelled Mr. Mixyetplick. But that was not the correct one. So thank you for participating, but unfortunately, as you can see, you may have crashed and burned. But you know what? Do you want to try it for real this time, or are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us. A round of applause for this brave soldier for at least getting up here and having some fun with us.
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I can tell you two probably get along real well.
Perhaps.
All right. What's your name, my dear?
Christina Holtzclaw.
Christina. All right. So you're going to get a word here. Your name is Grayson. Grayson is the last name of Dick Grayson, the first character to don the Robin sidekick moniker before he became another superhero known as Nightwing. So your word is Grayson.
All right.
Take as much time as you need with Grayson.
Grayson. Grayson.
That is correct. Nicely done. You nailed it. Very nicely done. All right, our next contestant, if you want to hop over to the microphone there. And what is your name?
Kaylee Vanderbach.
Kaylee. All right. Your word is huntress. Huntress. She is the masked vigilante Helena Wayne, the daughter of Batman and Catwoman from Earth 2. I know, more spoilers. So, huntress.
Huntress. Huntress. Huntress.
That is correct. Nicely done. Very good. You two are through the first round. All right, Mr. Spellos, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Your word is batarang. Batarang. It's a bat-shaped throwing weapon used by Batman for non-lethal attacks. Batarang.
Batarang. B-A-T-A-R-A-N-G.
Batarang. Say batarang.
Batarang.
That is correct. You got it. All right. Nicely done. Okay, so you three have all proceeded through the first round.
You have to follow the rules, Peter.
Well done.
Not in my wheelhouse.
All right, so we're through the first round. Now the words are going to increase a little bit here. So, all right, so Christina, right? So you are up next. Your word is Freeze-mobile. So it's a custom vehicle owned by the villain Mr. Freeze in the film Batman and Robin.
And it was my ex-wife's car.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's my ex-wife's nickname, not even the car. So Freeze-mobile.
Freeze-mobile. Freeze space Mobile. Freeze-mobile.
Freeze-mobile, that is correct. Well done. You got Freeze-mobile correct. Nice job.
She didn't spell space.
She didn't have to spell space.
SPACE. Space.
Winner.
That's good enough for me. All right, Kelsey, you're up next for us here. Your word
Is that your name, Kelsey?
is it Kelsey? Did I get it right? Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Oh, sorry, it had a K.
I'm
Sorry.
here for you.
All right. So your word is phantasm. Phantasm was the main villain featured on the 1993 animated film Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. So
also
the word
famous.
is phantasm.
Phantasm. Phantasm. Phantasm.
So that's a close one, but this was a little bit harder. Phantasm starts with a PH. Phantasm. Phantasm. So a round of applause for this young lady. That was an excellent job. You did a great job. This was definitely a challenge. So thank you for playing. We're going to do other Flash Bees throughout the weekend. We still have our final two contestants now. So our grand champion
I
is...
still like you, don't you worry.
Yes. thank you so much for participating. Our grand champion today is going to get a little something here, and then you're going to get an automatic entry into the grand championship spelling bee. So
I'm a judge at the. I better.
yeah, this is a little bit of a conflict of interest here, so that's okay. So, all right. So, your word is Zatanna. Zatanna is a member of the mystical race and Batman's sometimes ally via membership in the Justice League of America. Zatanna.
Zatanna. Zatana. Zatanna.
So close, but yet so far. 2 N's in Zatanna. Zatana, which means by default, the 2 sweetest words in the English language, default. Christina is our winner. Round of applause for Christina. You have won the Batman Flash Spelling Bee. Congratulations. I have some PopCon swag for you, and then I'm going to automatically enter you. Are you here on Sunday as well?
Yes.
So Sunday at 3 p.m. on the main stage, we are doing the Championship Spelling Bee. So you have an automatic entry to be a contestant in that, where you get your chance to win some PopCon passes for next year, VIP passes for next year, and the grand prize of a celebrity item that is so fancy, I can't even tell you fully what it is. It has to be seen to be believed. It is one of a kind. So
it's my beard.
Yes, yes. You're going to get to shave Peter Spellos,
and I'm going to give you a pound of hair.
You get to shave him from upper head to lower to chin, and that's plenty of hair. So.
I actually look like I went in the hair store and it exploded. No.
Yeah, no. In fact, it's better if it's off the books with no ID.
That's right.
So,
That's
all right, gentlemen, we'll let you get back to the podcast. Thank you for letting us crash the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Schaub, round of applause right here. I love you.
Thank you, Tony. All right, so
you know, I love when two of the 3 students show up, but they're in their mind at this point. I still love you, Jones. Always will.
So, I kind of feel like we had a good discussion about how to use acting, how to use improv skills in your game life, and kind of expanding those skills into your own performance life and things like that. I would just really like to focus for a couple minutes on some of the things that we're doing here at the convention this weekend. It is Friday. We have a lot of things going on Saturday. And then not nearly as many things going on Sunday.
No, I'll be in the Hangover Lounge on Sunday. You can all come visit me.
So, Peter, if you wouldn't mind, go into a little bit of what is going on for you for Breakfast Anytime, the improv company, on Saturday.
Well, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and... Oh, you mean later on. All right.
Yes.
10 o'clock over in... Where am I doing this?
Wabash 1 and 2.
Wabash 1 and 2.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's Wabash 3. Wabash 3.
Wabash 3.
Wabash 3. I'm doing an improv comedy workshop panel where Josh and Donna will be there to ask me questions and AMA about all things improv, and then I'm going to get some people up from the audience to do a couple improvs with me and a couple of our team members. Some of the warm-up games that we do that I've been doing for 40 years. And then later at 8 o'clock that night,
in Wabash 1 and 2.
Wabash 1 and 2, Breakfast Anytime. I'm performing with my improv company that I direct, where we do about a 50-minute show where we make everything up from the audience suggestions. So basically, if it stinks, it's your fault. That's how this works over here in improv. But it's a great time. We're going to get on that stage. We may or may not do a musical improv. Bye, Tone. We'll see you tomorrow. But if you come on down in the morning at 10 o'clock, and we'll talk improv, I'll get you up to play, and then 8 o'clock that night,
come make us work.
You'll be able to see what we do. Come watch us work.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's it.
I actually said make us work.
Okay.
That's what the difference.
Yeah.
I would rather watch us work.
Okay.
At this point.
And then for us all together on Sunday, I believe at 11 a.m., Peter, if I'm not mistaken, you are going to be holding a raffle at your booth.
Oh, right. I'm giving away two free acting classes and then 2 free improv classes the weekend. All you got to do is come by the booth anytime tomorrow, Saturday. We're next to the Established Facts podcast here.
That's right.
1034, 1135, right across from the YouTube stage.
Yep.
It doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
You fill out a raffle ticket, and I'm going to give away 4 nights of classes to 2 winners on Sunday morning.
1035, 1134 are those booth numbers. Yep. And then
1134, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
1134.
I'm dyslexic.
It's okay.
And then Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, the Established Facts podcast. We have done this now, I believe, 4 years in a row. we are going to be doing a raffle, which will include several really amazing prizes. I don't want to ruin the surprise. I'm going to have several things out on display tomorrow, but come by our booth. Again, that is 1134 and 1035. We are right in front of the YouTube event stage where you can go and get YouTuber autographs, and then you can come and see us and hang out with
They're
us.
They're actually having a raffle where you can take a YouTuber home. It's really an amazing thing.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's
All right.
fantastic.
That must
I don't
be
know why
new.
you would, but
Yeah.
at that point. I'm
So-
just going to play to him in the front row all day. Because this is my comedy club years are coming back. You find out who's looking at it and you go, I'm going to do all the jokes to you right now, sir. That's what I'm going to do.
Just go ask Will Wheaton about the raffle for the YouTubers. He might.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
He
he's
knows all the
hosting
details.
it. He's hosting it.
Oh, yeah.
At 6 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, 6 o'clock on Sunday. But, okay, I have
5
to.
o'clock Mountain Time.
Yeah.
All right.
I have to comment on this. There is a sign in the hallway that PopCon put up that says, if you're interested in time travel, please join us Thursday at 7 p.m.
That's funny.
It says, please join us last Thursday at 7 p.m., which made it even better.
That's good. Well, ladies,
You don't need the last. I'm going to give you a comedy moment. You got to say that gag in as many less words as possible. So taking the last is implied. If it just says, if everybody in the world knows it's Friday, all you got to say Thursdays at 7. And those who don't get it, you don't want in there anyway. I assure you at that point.
That's right. Well, we want to thank everybody who is hanging out and decided to have dinner around us loud, obnoxious improv people. We want to thank Peter and Leonard for being on the show and hanging out with us all weekend.
And remember, if I've touched just one of you, I'm not doing my job.
That's right. That's right.
And if he's touched just one of you,
Hey. Acquitted.
I'm acquitted. Okay.
Acquitted.
All I got to tell you.
Alleged. Anyway, we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. And for Indie PopCon and the Established Facts, we will check you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Please visit us at www.theestablishedfacts.com and our Facebook page, facebook.com/theestablishedfacts. If you would like to support us by buying some merchandise, visit cafepress.com/castingrobot.
Bonus.